Hello everybody, welcome to this video. It's the continuation in the series on William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Everything you see in this video comes from Mr. Bruff's Guide to Much Ado About Nothing, available for £3.99 at mrbruff.com or amazon.co.uk. The ebook contains the complete original text, a line-by-line translation into modern English, and detailed analysis on all of the scenes. And in this video series, I'm just going to now focus on the analysis of the scenes, but if you want the translation, that is exclusive to the ebook. So we're up to Act 1, Scene 3, the final scene in Act 1, and here the conversation between Don Pedro and Claudio is correctly reported, and the audience are told that mischief is planned. So let's have a little summary of what happens in this scene. Don John has been going about with a long face, and his companion Conrad warns him at least to pretend to be reconciled to his brother Don Pedro, who has forgiven him for the rebellion that he organised. He's being spiteful and nasty at every opportunity, which is too obvious. If he wants to do mischief, he has to be subtle about it, Conrad tells him. John insists he can. He is a plain-dealing villain, and then Borachio arrives with the news that Don Pedro will win Hero on Claudio's behalf. Immediately, they vow to turn this into an opportunity to do harm to Claudio. A little bit about the context, the bit that makes everybody giggle. Don John is also called the bastard in the play. This is not a swear word, as it is today. To Shakespeare's audience, it meant that he was illegitimate. He was born to parents who weren't married. And it's probable that he's the older brother of Don Pedro, half-brother perhaps, and feels he should have inherited the kingdom and has now tried to take it forcibly through war. We never know exactly what's happened, but that's probably the sort of thing that's happened. At the start of the act, we hear how well Claudio had fought, and we hear that he had all the glory of my overthrow. So this very small quotation, often overlooked, gives us a hint that Claudio was involved and was probably instrumental in Don John's downfall. So he has a reason to hate him. What themes do we have? One major theme is loyalty and disloyalty explored here. Since his defeat, Don John has been on the lookout for ways in which to undermine his brother. Conrad says he should feign or fake loyalty in order to be able to do mischief, but he insists, "Let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me." So when Borachio brings the news of Claudio's love for Hero, he immediately plans to avenge himself on both his brother and his brother's great favourite Claudio by doing something villainous and wicked. What about the structure? This scene is in two parts, like this apple. And that's quite interesting because the first part is really a character sketch of Don John, and we can infer that he is proud of being so plain-dealing a villain by the way he insists on being that. And Conrad wants him to seem reconciled until an opportunity arises to do mischief, and it does when Borachio enters with the news. The second half of the scene is then devoted to hearing the news and deciding to use it wickedly. Now you notice Borachio is reporting the conversation between Don Pedro and Claudio correctly, but intends to subvert it. And we saw in the previous analysis where a message is misunderstood. So in this play there is a lot to do with passing on a message or telling something that's been witnessed and either getting it wrong deliberately or accidentally. Shakespeare's building up two potential disasters, the wrong message being believed and the right message being subverted or undermined. Finally, the language then. There is a lot of language to do with natural imagery, the imagery of nature. We see Don John and Conrad using the imagery of nature. Take true root, make fair weather, frame the season for your own harvest. I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. Perhaps then this imagery is used to suggest that this is how Don John is. He is naturally evil. He's not trying to make himself this way. His nature, his true inherent personality is bad. He really is a villain. There's no way he's going to turn into a good guy. And in Act 2, it's really important that we remember that. If you found this video useful, please do subscribe to the channel and pick up the ebook.